Right, so I haven't done a video for probably a week and a half, something like that. So I thought I'd show you what I've been doing, which is quite a lot, to be honest. Basically, obviously a lot of people will know now that gullwing doors are not an option. So basically I've gone back to like a hookable sort of door, so it hooks onto the car and then comes off, and then I'm going to end up putting it on some sort of stand or something that shows basically both doors. So basically it holds it and then still has tablets and stuff in it, so it looks pretty cool. But obviously won't be a gullwing anymore. I've been doing quite a lot, as you can probably see now. Basically I'll run you through it. So I've done a lot of work getting these lines correct. It's difficult to show exactly because this isn't fully done yet. This window here, obviously you can see it's just been painted black for effect. This has got to go obviously to the edge, same as the back window. I'll try and get so you can see, it's probably easier. So you can see where it's going to be fitted to. So obviously it's going to sit the same as that, basically right up to the edge. Just need to fit in there. So basically a bit more material going in there, some fiberglass, and basically that'll go right to the top and going nicely into the corners along there. This section here is going to be extended. I'd already made a window piece. In fact, it's over here behind there, that one, but it didn't fit very well, to be honest. It wasn't a great option. So what I decided to do, I did like a bit of a mold from the original window, the glass bit, and then yeah, pretty much that. Obviously that's not going to be long enough, so now I've got to extend this. But because this is now going to be built into the car, literally on it, doesn't have to come off or anything, because there's no you can't see anything through there anyway. This can now be fiberglass directly to the actual door, so it's going to be nice and strong. Same down here, and again same along there. So ideal, really perfect. Again, it's going to be sorted out along here. You can see where that's going to be. I've had to do a lot of rebuilding around here. So basically this whole section has been built up. If I can try and show you the back side of it. Basically the original windows, rear windows, had a rubber seal, and they sit at the edge of this lip rather than inside the lip. But I prefer the actual look of it inside the lip, so I'm going to bond it in basically without any rubbers in there. Basically because we don't need any rubbers anyway in here. There's given no rubbers on the car at all, so one less will do. No problem, I have no issues at all, I don't think. So yeah, basically I've had to, because that's completely changed, I've had to redo all of this. Try and get in there without getting my finger in the way. There we are. I've had to completely redo all this line here. You can see where the door normally opens. It's the edges of the door opening basically are still visible. Technically there's a few bits that aren't yet, but I'll give it a bit of a once over, but you can see where they're going to come through. So the lines are going to be nice and tight when it's done. But yeah, that basically now sits at the right sort of shape, angle, everything else. It's still quite a lot of work really to get this right. This along here is obviously all got to be nice and straight, and it basically is. It's got to finish off in that corner, as you can see. So that's a little bit ropey in places because I can't get into it at the moment because the door's attached. As you can see where basically there's no join at the moment for the door. There will be, because that whole thing's got to come off. But I'm going to recut the lines afterwards. I know exactly where they are because they basically come down here. So basically to recut down there into the original shape and down here. So pretty straightforward. Same this side. Nothing there at the moment. Needs a bit more flat in here. There's a little bit of a high spot here. But the majority is actually long blocked. Not to a full level, but it's pretty much there. And then it just needs a bit of work on this rear arch, but not that much at all really. It's pretty much looking pretty good now. Not bad at all. So yeah, that's basically what it's going to look like. I think it looks quite cool. So the idea is that this whole piece of glass here, this whole section, is going to look like one big piece. So it will look like a one big piece of glass basically. Obviously this will all be smoothed out, and then they'll both be wrapped in gloss black wrap. So they'll literally look exactly the same. There've been hardly any gap at all where the section is. So it's literally going to look pretty spot on. That's going to be, that door there is going to be pretty much right to this edge. Well, near enough. There's probably going to be about a 2mm gap or something, maybe 3mm gap, just to make sure. But literally it's going to look like one piece, which is nice. I think that's going to look quite nice. All this section's been made. I keep getting my finger in the way. All this section's been made as well. It's all been flatted back. I've put some primer on it just so I can see where I am. It's not fully done here yet. It's a little bit high here. It sort of humps over rather than being properly over this side. I don't know if you can see that, but it's that's the section that I need to do when I've got all this stuff off the roof, is the idea. I've done a little piece here which was there before, but the idea is obviously the window looked a bit weird having just a big massive plain piece here, so the window kind of looks like it extends down here, but obviously it's not really, it's just this little section, but obviously it's going to all be the right shape and not the wrong sort of levels and things. You can see there, big gap, so that won't be there, and obviously the mirror will be on there, so that looks quite nice. While stuff was drying as well, well, obviously I've done the door. You can obviously see the door panel, pretty good, not bad at all, looking quite good both ways. So it hasn't been long blocked yet. It has in places, but it hasn't actually been fully long blocked because it's had a layer of filler since then, hence why that dodgy bit is over there as well. But you can see it's obviously coming along quite nicely. I've had to rebuild, as I say, all these sections. These weren't anywhere near what this looks like now. It wasn't even this shape even, it was completely different, so that's come out a lot nicer than it was before, that's for sure. I say while I was waiting for things to dry, I've also done a long block on this whole wing. This is all done. It's all looking pretty good now, all good along the top here as well, along this side here, along this very edge here, and I've also 240 it, so it's quite smooth at the moment. Only once over with the 240, it's not quite there yet, but obviously once it's fully finished, which it will be when I can get onto that properly, because I've got to tidy up this section underneath here where the fiberglass is. Don't know if you can see that. There you go. That sort of looks a bit tight around the wheel. It's not supposed to be, it's going to be anyway, but you can see where it's going to be from there. And also there's a couple of little chips and things out of it, but those will be finished off as and when it's done. But the actual shapes and things like this, for this section for instance, this piece here, all this section here, it's all looking quite nice now. So yeah, doing well. So yeah, I haven't done a video for a little while, so I thought I'd better crack on and do one. But hopefully you can see where the progress is going now. Basically the next jobs on the list are flat all this back, fiberglass that section, fiberglass this piece in, make this look like a proper window, and then I'll try and sort of position that window properly. It sits out slightly at the bottom there, basically because it won't sit without me. You see where it's taking the primer off. That normally sits flat against there. But obviously next time you see it, it should be all good. I'm going to basically get the lines cut as well under here, so they get those all sorted out for the shut lines and things. And then basically take the door off and make the mounting brackets for it, because it's technically held out at the moment by a couple of screws and gravity. Well, not gravity, I'll take it off. The opposite to gravity. I don't know what that is. So yeah, there you go. Feel free to subscribe, comment, obviously will be handy. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think it's going in the right direction and made the right choice here. And I'll do another video as and when.